Hi, my name is Przemek Chojecki, I'm the CEO of Contentyze, and today I'm going to give you a tour through templates and how to use them. And in this simple tutorial I will show you a couple of things how you can use templates to actually generate a lot of content and have full control over what you generate. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to import a data file. So I'm going to import a simple CSV file, a simple spreadsheet with a couple of entries to show you some things. So here it goes. It's a very simple spreadsheet with two columns, brand and product. And as you can see, basically this is what happens. There's like Coca-Cola drink, Samsung phone, Alienware laptop. I can modify that here. Say, and then if I go down below, I'll be able to invoke each of these variables here. So the first row saying that do I want to treat this as variables or not is saying that do I want to use brand and product as variables. And what that means is if I want to invoke first row, then I can do it by writing brand in double brackets. If I want to invoke say second row, I could do that by double bracket product. So if I now go down below and click preview, what will happen is both of the rows will both of the variables will be initialized with a random row from this data. So again, I can write something here like in between, like producers. And again, if I click on preview, another random initialization will take place. And as you can see, we have Coca-Cola produces drinks, right? So that's great. Another way to actually, if you don't have variables or if you want to like make it, from my perspective, even simpler to invoke these different variables is that you can also invoke the same thing by taking row 1 produces row 2, and that works always no matter what kind of column, spreadsheets and variables you have. So again, this will produce the same result in this case. Because the idea is that you have only one initialization per one preview. So each, like in the end, if you want to download everything, which will give you 3 articles in the end, and each article will be initialized on different rows. So the first row will be an article about Coca-Cola, the second one about Samsung, and the third about Alienware. This is what happens here. So as you can see, this is pretty simple. Simple to use. I could have more parameters here. For example, if I were writing an article about different laptops, I could have different components here in my data, the specification might be different, and then I could invoke all of those variable specifications, and then I would have a different review for a different product, which is a fast way, for example, for doing e-commerce descriptions or like writing reviews, writing text, which are repetitive, but there's some variance to it. So that's the first thing that you can do. Then the funny thing is that you can also use some of the machine learning models inside of this thing. So for example, I could do like rewrite, or maybe I could generate a short text based on this thing. So when I clicked models and I clicked short, I have this thing here, and in order for that to make it work, I need to modify this text here and input something else. And what I will do is I will input this row 1 produces row 2. So again, what will happen is that this will be initialized into, for example, Coca-Cola produces drinks, and then the general model for producing text will be invoked next, and it will write something about Coca-Cola. So let's see what happens. We'll probably have to wait a little bit because of the generation. Short text should work pretty fast anyway. As you will see, we'll get a text in the end also appearing on the screen. And again, if you want to download everything, You just click on the download button, and then there will be this progress bar, and once everything is prepared and generated, you'll be able to download as a zip file all the articles. So this is especially good if you want to have multiple text. Okay, so we have the result. The first row, the brand produces product, was initiated as Samsung produces phones, and then the second bit is basically generated text based on the first on these three words. So I don't think that it will make much sense, but it's not bad. It's like so it's some of the way. It's a way to actually mix and match scripts with machine learning models, and as those models are becoming better and better, you'll be able to really have nice complex text all together. So this is what happened here. So let's go to another example. Maybe at this point I should also mention what formatting is doing. So formatting basically means that whether you want to generate just a text for yourself and then download it later on, then you choose general, but you have also a choice between Twitter and WordPress. And the goal here is that if you choose Twitter or WordPress and then save then the template by going to save, template saved, then you'll be able to reuse all that in the automation screen that you can choose from the panel on the left. And if you save WordPress and Twitter, then in the automation you'll be able to publish this template, the articles generated from this template directly to WordPress or Twitter. So that's very convenient for like publishing content at scale and doing it everything you can do from just the Contentyze platform. So again, if I were to choose WordPress, basically what will happen is you will have to provide title for each for each piece of text, image, category tags, publication, and you can leave that empty if you just want to have it published when it's generated, but the rest stays the same. So maybe I should mention that also here you can use something like row 1, which means that you can also programmatically enter different titles for different pieces of text, so changing titles along with the text. So for example, if you have a large CSV file and one of the columns is about the title of the text, then this goes here, and you have this thing here. The second thing is the image, and you can either provide a URL, a link to your image here, so that can be also a row in your column, or alternatively what you can do is you can also say provide then something like row 1, which would go to the text, so that's the text, and then check the download image from Google. So what will happen is that our algorithms will go on Google and choose an image for you for the text, and you will be able to see that on WordPress directly. The same thing works for category and tags. And then WordPress publication date. So that might be interesting for you if you have websites on WordPress. Another thing is Twitter. The only difference between Twitter and general is actually how many characters you can use. You have this limit of 280 characters on Twitter, but that's that. And it's fine if you use general also for. You can use general formatting also to publish on Twitter. It doesn't matter really. It's only to remind you how many characters you have. Okay, so that was the example with CSV file. You can also load in text files and have just with one column then. Or the other option that you might want to use is actually go to RSS feed and then choose the source that you observe. So for example, here I'm going to choose GameSpot with game news. I'm going to choose title, link, summary as the standard fields that you can basically always they exist in any kind of a RSS feed. And I'm set the limit to 10. So I'm going to only import the most recent 10 news. Then I click import, and voila, you have the thing provided to you by GameSpot, basically having the title, link, and summary. Again, the first row is variable, so I keep it as checked, and then I will have to modify that a little bit. I choose general formatting, and let's see. Let's try with like title, and then I choose the source being link, and let me show you the preview. So that generates something like that. So you have the title coming from GameSpot, the source, and if you want, you can also include the summary coming from GameSpot. This exists in this case, but what you might also want to do actually is use one of our models to have the summary given to you. So basically, what you would do something like that. I've just imported from models summary abstract. I've put in this model, and then what I'm going to do is I'm putting the link here. So what will happen is that it will be initiated on this link, and uh, the summary will be given to you by the machine learning model. So it's really cool because it really well mixes everything we have on the platform, meaning that you take the RSS feed, you take the sources, you script that, and then you use machine learning to actually give you a summary of the article that you're referring to. So let's see the preview of that. So this is basically what appears. As you can see, the whole thing was initiated to Naruto to Boruto. I have the source, I have the summary, and this is the abstractive summary, the one-line summary coming from the article. So as you can see, the great thing is it's different from the title. It gives you the summary of the article in one line, and I think it's very useful. So right now, if I were to use it again, I can save the whole template here and then go to automation and use that template for my purposes, for posting on a WordPress or Twitter. Or if I want to download the whole thing, what I can do is basically click download. So let's have a look at that right now. This is basically the progress bar. As you can see, you have this estimated time. Usually we overestimate a little bit, and once it starts progressing, it's becoming much faster. But 15 minutes is nothing extraordinary. You should expect this kind of time for, especially for more involved text, for more data. So right now what's happening is that we're generating 10 texts based on GameSpot, where you have the title, source, and summary is basically our own machine learning model summarizes the whole text. This is it for the basic tutorial to templates. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your feedback. If you have any more questions, I will probably add more around Contentyze and how to post on Twitter or WordPress with automation. And I will also come back to templates and how you can do some more complex, more interesting and engaging articles as well. And just on the final note, as you can see, this is going pretty fast. We have already 4 out of 10 articles being downloaded, and the whole thing just takes around a couple of minutes in the end. So it's pretty fast. So once this is done, I'll be able to download the whole thing as a zip file and save it to my drive and reuse it later on. So this is really useful for then posting it on your websites or using it for different purposes as you may fit. So let's have a look at that. So now it's finished and I can click download, and that's it. I have my zip file with all the articles. Thank you for watching. As I said, please give me any feedback you might have. If you have any questions or problems with Contentyze, also let me know. I'm happy to assist you, and we, with my team, we're always trying to make the platform better, so there will be new features coming on, but I wanted to have this tutorial with, as I think like templates are probably the most interesting stuff in Contentyze, and they're really a little bit more complex, and it takes time to get to know how to use them. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next tutorial.